Hi folks, welcome to part 2 of our Crownland hot tent camping adventure. It's time to process wood and then go for a hike and see what we can see while we explore this Crownland area of Ontario. Good job. Yes, please.
That's a good size, isn't it?
Yep.
Good enough.
We had a visitor to camp today. This is my dad.
Yeah.
He brought his snow machine out this way, so.
Anyway.
Bye-bye now. Well, all the chores are done now for the day. We've got a good supply of firewood cut for the night. Temperatures actually dropped. It's going to be a lot colder than we were thinking it was going to be tonight. So it's supposed to be about, I don't know, minus 17, minus 18, and then minus 22 with the wind chill. So we're in for a cold night, but we've got lots of firewood, so we'll be nice and toasty inside. So now that all the jobs are done, the ashes are cleaned out of the fireplace, we're going to go and have a look around. Come on and join us.
Where do you want to go? You want to go up there to look around?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go, Mozzie. You lead the way. That's probably what, 12-foot drop at least?
More than that. 15, 20.
Has to be an outlet right there. Yeah, I know, eh?
If you looked over, you wouldn't even think it was there.
No, no, that tent is very well camouflaged in the trees. Deal with her though. Hey, Maz, you having fun? That's a good girl. Good dog. Hey, there's some birch. There's not too much of that around here, so I can go and get a pocket full of that and get the fire going with later. Of course, you never want to ring a birch. Oh, it looks like it might be fun to get to. Uh-oh. That might not happen. Anyway, a little thing about birch trees. Anything that is hanging off it is okay to take, but you never want to peel it around the tree. Otherwise, it's like suffocating it. You're gonna end up killing the tree. Great fire start. There we go. Here's another one I can get to a little easier. It's not down a 20-foot cliff. I'm gonna take some of this stuff that's hanging off here and get the fire going with that tonight. Wonderful. All right. Oh, I just love these areas of Ontario that are all rock and huge pine trees. I just find that so pretty in the outdoors. Of course, I find anything pretty, but especially this. It's just such a nice mix of the rocky ridges and the big pine trees. There's lots of animal activity over here in the forest, but the footprints are too degraded to tell what they are. Some might be wolf tracks. It's hard to say. We also know there's moose and deer in this area. My guess is this might be an otter slide. Definitely looks like something slid down there on their belly. Hello up there. Hi, Mozzie. What you doing? Good girl. So pretty. Look at the size of that tree that fell there a long time ago. I don't know, beaver maybe? Lost sight of it now. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's coming out onto the ice. Muskrat or beaver, I'm not sure. One or the other. Well, time to head back to the tent. We've had our little bout of exploring. Saw a little wildlife. I'm pretty sure that was a beaver. Time to go back and get the fire going again, get the tent warmed up, and have some relaxing time. We're back in the tent. We've got the fire going. Everyone's getting warmed up. I just wanted to show this colossal pile of wood that we've got for the night. I definitely don't think we'll get cold tonight. Well, it's hot chocolate time. Actually, my husband's going to have the Tim Hortons Double Double. I'm going to try this, the Gourmet Village. It's hot chocolate, but it's supposed to come out purple. So we'll see how that goes. And then I've got dehydrated marshmallows. I would love to think that these are just going to puff up the regular size of a marshmallow once you add them to a hot drink, but I don't think that's the case. But they still look really good, and it'll be a nice little addition to a hot drink. There you have it, folks. Purple hot chocolate. Just thought I'd share a little video of how I organize my kitchen for camping. I showed this on my winter hot tent camping gear video, but this is what I bring out into the bush with me. I picked up this pack from our local mountain equipment co-op. It's an outdoor store that we have in Canada, but you can probably find something like this any generic outdoor store. It's really just an overnight travel carry-on bag, and it's separated into these different compartments for like your clothes and socks and toiletries, that sort of thing. But what I've done is I've used it to organize all my kitchen items. So in one spot I've got my frying pans and plates for supper. I've got my MSR pots and pans there, and then just a smaller pot for like sauces and gravy, that sort of thing. And I really only bring out what I know I'm going to use. And up top here we've got mugs and a little collapsible cup. And then down here in the bottom, just kind of my catch-all. So I've got hot pads and my UV glove. Got parchment paper. I've got extra Ziploc bags, some paper towel. I've got some sections of aluminum foil that I've just folded up into squares. Some garbage bags, sharp knife, more extra Ziplocs there. Anyway, all in one handy spot. So every time we get ready to go camping, I make sure that everything's filled up and that I have all the supplies that I need. And it's really easy. It's just in one central spot. I usually just open this up and shove it underneath my cot, and then I can just slide it out, and I've got all my kitchen items there ready, close at hand to use. I'm going to start tonight by making our dessert, because that's something that I'm going to bake in the oven. And so if I make it now, then it can be off to the side cooling while I'm making supper. So I'm going to try a recipe I found. It's supposed to make 4 cinnamon buns. So everything's from scratch here. I've mixed up the flour mixture at home. It called for the wet mixture being milk, lemon juice, and melted butter. So I just made my own little foil cup here for the melted butter. I didn't need to bring an extra little pot just for that, so that worked well enough. So we'll get this mixed up, and then we'll be getting some a little bit messy, patting the dough out just with my fingers into a rectangle so that we can put the butter and the brown sugar and cinnamon on it. Okay, so we've got our dough mixture all mixed up. Next step is on a generously floured surface. We're supposed to pat that out into a rectangle. So we'll see how that goes. Use lots of powder because they say it's going to be sticky, so. There we go. Okay, time to get our hands dirty again. I'm just guessing on dimensions here. Once we have the butter and the brown sugar and cinnamon on it, then you roll it up and cut it into 4. So, you know, they're not going to be too big. It's a small batch recipe, so we'll just divide it enough here. It looks like it'll make 4. Okay. I'm just going to spread the butter on there. And don't fault me here, I'm using a spoon, I know. Use what you have at hand when you're camping. This reminds me a lot of making roly-polies with my mom when I was a kid. I always made roly-polies with the leftover pastry dough whenever my mom made pies or something like that. Roll out the dough and spread it with butter or margarine, and then sprinkle brown sugar over it. And I always liked to add raisins and roll it up and cut it into segments. It was always a treat with the leftover dough. Okay, so I already mixed up the brown sugar. There's actually a brown sugar and some white sugar and some cinnamon. So I mix that up at home. So I'm going to evenly distribute that. That sound you hear is it's snowing outside, and sometimes some of the snow runs down the outside of the chimney pipe. And unfortunately, for some reason, our dog is afraid of that sound. But she's getting used to it. There we go. Okay, well, these should be quite decadent because that seems like a lot of brown sugar and cinnamon, but again, we are making cinnamon rolls, so I always want lots of brown sugar and cinnamon in there. Okay, we're gonna roll these up. See how this goes. This is made of very soft dough. This recipe is actually for use in like a muffin tin, but unfortunately my little muffin tin won't fit. I've had to improvise with the type of containers that I can actually fit in that little oven, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put all 4 of these together in my foil tray that I've lined with parchment paper. Okay. Let's seal that off a bit. Okay. So I'm going to get a sharp knife. I'm going to cut that into 4. And we're going to pop these in the oven and get some glaze on them when they're done. There's our cinnamon buns ready to go in the oven. Okay, let's have a look at the cinnamon buns. I think they might be done. I've been turning them around so that they have a little bit more even heat distribution. Whoa, a bit of snow coming in. I'd say they're done. They're starting to smell really good. And yeah, the pastry seems like it's firm, so I think it's time to glaze them. And there's dessert. Okay, we've got supper on the go. It's going to be cheesesteak sandwiches tonight. So we've just got the steak warming up. It was a pre-cooked steak that I got. And I'm just making some Velveeta cheese sauce. I've got some potato wedges in the oven. The buns are wrapped in foil there on the side, just warming up. And then my mom's made us some homemade baked beans to go with this. So we'll just heat that up at the end because they won't take very long just to warm up on the stove. And luckily, I've got 2 extra hands to help me. How's the steak coming? Good stuff. We've got the beans on there, and they are warming up. And our cheese sauce is all done. Philly cheesesteaks are done. Since we're in a part of Ontario called Township of Severn, we're going to call these Severn cheesesteaks. Mum's baked beans and potato wedges to go with the Severn cheesesteaks. Bon appetit! We're going to eat now. Well, supper's all done. We've cleaned up everything, and we are just going to sit in for the evening and relax. It's snowing quite well outside. The forecast was entirely wrong for today. We've been getting a lot of snow. I would say probably a good, well, 6 inches have probably fallen when they were calling for like 1 to 3 centimeters. So it's certainly a lot more than that where we are. But anyway, supper was good. We're all cleaned up, and I've put the icing on the cinnamon buns. A little haphazard, but I made it in a Ziploc bag and squeezed it out, so please forgive my haphazard icing. But we're going to give them a try now and see how they are. And so my husband said that I get first taste, so we'll see how they are here. We had a really good time today enjoying the area around the campsite here. A lot of just beautiful rocky areas and little cliffs and big trees, and so we had a lot of fun looking around at that. So here goes first taste. Very good. Well, we're going to sit down and enjoy these. Excuse me for talking with my mouth full. And so stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to have some breakfast and then head home. We've had a good day today for a second day in the bush. As long as we got our wood cut and the stove cleaned out, that was about all we had to do today, other than hiking around and exploring. So it was a little bit more relaxing for us, which is nice. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Breakfast in bed. Well, good morning. The weatherman had it a little bit wrong last night. It was quite a windy, snowy night. It snowed more than we were expecting, and the wind got up quite a bit. Now, they said wind gusts to 40 kilometers an hour, which when you're in a tent, that's high enough. So I had to go out and tie down the tent a little better at one point during the night, but we were fine. The tent held up good in the wind. And it did get cold. The lowest point overnight was -17, but it was nice and warm in the tent. Of course, we had lots of firewood. We just kept feeding it, and so we kept nice and warm. And yeah, it's a nice sunny morning. It's still cold. It's still about -11 or so, and the wind is still gusting. But we're going to make some pancakes and sausages and then start breaking down camp and heading out. Pancake time. I've added a bit too much water to this mix. Okay, let's see if these are ready to flip. What do you think, Mozzie? Not quite, no. We're just starting to brown. Well, the sausages are all nice and warm. I put those in the oven in tin foil, and I'm sure they're hot enough now, so I just put them off to the side. They were already pre-cooked at home, so I just really needed to warm them up. And the pancakes are cooking away. And soon we'll be able to eat. Okay, you want to pass me your plate? There, breakfast is served. Ozzy says, I'm all ready to go. Aren't you guys packed up yet? I've got my backpack on, I'm ready to go. Soon. Good girl. You stay on your bed till we're ready to go, okay? Good dog. Well, everything's packed up and ready to go except the tent. We're just about to break it down and head back out to the car. We've had a lot of fun back here, but as you can tell, it's cold today. Temperature's not too bad, but it's the wind chill that'll get you. So we're going to take the tent down, get Mozzie all situated, and head back out. So until next time, thanks for joining us, and keep exploring.